Hi everyone, welcome back. I am here with Ocelote, who is here to support his players this week. Thank you very much for joining me today. How are you feeling?
Thanks very much. I'm feeling very good, very nervous because we're about to play, but very good.
Well, I saw you were very supportive with the players on social media last week. Can you talk me through their performances? How do you reflect on what happened?
Well, you know, it feels like people are perhaps kind of over-exaggerating how bad it is, and that's normal and that's good because we have a past. We've been winning very often, and after huge lineup changes and kind of not having that much competitive success, it's normal that people question stuff. But I am not worried at all because I have full support. I mean, I unconditionally support the players, especially in these circumstances, and we're working all together to make sure that we come back.
As you said, you tried to build kind of a new team with the bot lane going away and the jungler going away and top lane also. Talk me through, what do you think about this team now? Where are your players standing?
Well, I think we have a fantastic team. That's undeniable. When you look at, top lane, jungle, and mid lane, they're definitely easily, our stars, so to say. They are very often performing very well, and a lot of negative feedback and backlash is pushed towards the bot lane, and there are many reasons as of why they are perhaps underperforming sometimes, but also people are again potentially over-exaggerating a little bit, some of their mistakes. It is true that they've never been in an environment with such great players surrounding them, so it is extremely stressful and it's a lot of pressure for them on their shoulders, They have to perform, and when the team loses, they automatically think it's their fault because, well, they have Jankos, Wunder, and PerkZ. Why would they be their fault? You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a lot of pressure on their shoulders, and we're here to support them. And we fully believe that they are incredible in the bot lane, and they can be the best bot lane in Europe. So yeah, cheers to VIT and Sven and Expect and Trick. They're doing quite well.
And what do you think they're missing to be the top team they used to be last year?
Well, I mean, we changed 4 people, right? We're one of the teams that has changed the most amount of players, probably, and that is for a reason. We also have the longest contracts in the West as well, so it all makes sense. We are building for the long term, and that doesn't mean that we don't care about the short term. We do care about the short term, and we do want to win the LCS, and we really are trying our hardest to do so. But I am actually honestly proud with how much we've been training and how well we've been training and what's the trend looking like. So we're all very hopeful, and we're all happy that we're a team that can get along together very well and that enjoy each other and that are starting to mesh very well together. Wadid is starting to call a lot, is starting to work better, we're very happy, honestly.
On this positive side, is there anything you would like to say to the G2 fans watching you now?
Awesome, well, thanks a lot. Yeah, I mean, G2 fans, we are doing our very best to perform, really, and I know we won 4 times in a row in Europe, but it doesn't mean anything for us. We want to still win in the future. We're extremely ambitious, and it's incredibly important for us to keep having your support and to keep having you there cheering for us. Thanks so very much.
Well, you guys know what to do. Ocelote, thank you very much for joining me today and for the kind words. And for more on that game, let's get it back to Sjokz and the guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Laure. As always, a very charming and insightful Ocelote, founder and CEO of G2 Esports, expressing his unconditional support for his team, for his players. What was your main takeaway from that interview?
I think it made me realize how much of pressure was on the bottom lane of G2. It's something that can very easily be forgotten, the fact that they were not only filling the shoes of Sven and Mithy, but also kind of have to uphold the 4-time consecutive championship. And I think that, yes, that is a fair assessment. I'm still going to be critical of them, though, and I'm still going to keep a judgment eye on how quickly they can adapt and fit into this team.
Yeah, it's the same for me. Like, I didn't actually put that into perspective at all, because, like, for me, if you just play for an organization, obviously you have some kind of expectations, but they have to replace Mithy and Sven, and that's something we sometimes tend to forget. They're the best bot lane in the West, probably still, and they still have to step into those footsteps.
But that is what G2 Esports is working with, and right now they're facing off against Vitality in the battle for the bye. So much on the line in this game. If G2 win, they force a tiebreaker game versus Splice, so they will have to win 2 games today to make it to that 2nd place. And if Vitality win, they directly get that bye. And just to state again, that bye means you surpass the quarterfinals. Currently only Fnatic has it. That means you get an extra week to practice and to scope out your possible opponents. Very, very very valuable.
I feel like G2 would be more than happy to take that bye, give themselves an extra week to prepare, but also to just get an eye on the competition that you should be fighting up against the week after.
Yes, yesterday G2 managed to pick up a win versus Unicorns of Love. You cannot call that a clean victory, but it's a bit of those, yeah, a win is a win, I guess. We had a question mark about the second carry, and Wunder was definitely a big carry in that game, so that's a positive.
Yeah, once the 40-minute or 30-minute spike happened, he definitely performed. He actually carried G2 to victory. But yeah, we do have to highlight that the win itself wasn't clean at all. They basically got behind a lot. Wunder still had to execute and basically outplay the opponents for them to win. I think that's something that you don't want out of a lineup that is that talented.
So Vedius is the short-term band-aid for G2. Just put Wunder on a carry whenever you can?
I feel like you kind of have to, because it's one of those things where you think back to when Wunder was on Splice, and that roster did well when he played carries. But when the meta shifted towards tanks, he did not have the same kind of impact, and you can just see that over their last few games. Loss on Sion, loss on Maokai, loss on Cho'Gath. Yes, he got a win on the Sion there, but you compare that win to the convincing performance that he had on Camille, and you can just see the difference that this guy has on the game when he's enabled to be that carry.
So we want to see him on a carry in this matchup versus Vitality, because Vitality, on the other hand, they're looking to end a good split with securing a spot in Copenhagen. An up and down split. Fantastic start for the rookies. A bit of a dip. Now they're managing to find their own again. And as we talk about double carries on the side of G2 Esports and who that may be, I think in the last couple of weeks it's been very clear that there are 2 carries on Vitality.
Yeah, Minitroupax has finally come into his own. He's not just the one that is basically following the Italian silent, but he's actually creating CS leads even in the laning phase. Like, he was up 40 CS against Kog'Maw, who's respected as one of the best AD carriers in Europe. He dominated the laning phase, and they were actually able to carry off of him. That's something that's such a good side for Vitality, because come playoffs, bot lanes are going to be really important, especially if you face the likes of Fnatic, if you face the likes of Spice, because all of these bot lanes have that kind of weight to them, and Vitality is finally pulling through.
And you talk so much about Minitroupax, but then you say how we've been waiting so long for him to step up to be that second carry. That doesn't mean that Jiizuké has suddenly stopped being a carry, right? Even when he's put onto these champions like Talia, who's not really considered hard carry, assassin-style playmaking champs, he still has such a massive impact. You only have to look at yesterday, his use of the walls, the positioning that he was always in when it came to these late-game crucial fights. He was constantly outputting damage and still being a huge carry for Vitality.
As a final note in this battle for the bye, is it as simple as Jiizuké and Minitroupax versus Wunder and PerkZ?
A large part of me thinks that it is, and I keep my eyes on this mid lane matchup specifically because we got to hear from Reckless yesterday on the post-game lobby where he talked about when it's Caps versus Jiizuké, you have to be concerned because even though he thinks Caps is a talented mid laner, Jiizuké can always bring something out. And with the recent performances of PerkZ, that could be a big win condition to set up Vitality for success.
Well, we are ready to kick off the battle for the bye, so let's head over to the casters and hit the rift.
Thank you very much, Sjokz. Deficio, battle for the bye. Say it one more time. Winner, second place, or in the case of G2, fighting for second place. Loser, fourth place. That is a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, because it of course means that even if you win your quarterfinal, you might get to face Fnatic in a semifinal, and that's kind of what teams want to avoid at the moment in the ULCS.
It always feels like that in the ULCS playoffs. It always feels like who can avoid the terrifying semifinals team is always a question.
That's why seeding is so important, even if it's between like third, fourth, and so on. Just because, again, if you win your quarterfinal, the highest seed that advances to semifinals will get to play the second seed in the EULCS. And let's see what happens in this game here. Super, super important for both teams.
Now, the thing I want to see, Deficio, is how both the teams are going to play this game, because we heard on the desk, and I think we should watch it again. Both these teams, big comeback wins, unexpected wins, I think it's safe to say, for both teams. We saw the individual outplays coming in from Wunder and PerkZ together, Wunder especially on the Camille. And honestly, it's sort of a similar story on the opposite side as we just kind of relive these moments for both teams.
Hey, it was a super hard game for G2 to win. I thought the game was over until Unicorns of Love sadly messed up a few team fights. Wunder took over the game, and this, of course, is Vitality coming back after being behind, and with this creative play, they punished him. And Minitroupax became the big hero.
Here it is. Just the champion's aggressive flash to bring it home. It's a good look, but now as we check in on the ban phase, you know what I see, Deficio? Those champions that turn the game around, they're gone. Wunder, you don't get to play Camille. Minitroupax, you don't get to play Caitlyn. Clearly both teams are aware of what happened yesterday, not going to let it happen again.
Also 2 AD carry bans on G2 side against Minitroupax. It is important to highlight that Vitality have played more around the bottom lane recently, and G2 Esports have never played around the bot lane in 2018. So they are taking away 2 of the main AD carries that Minitroupax could carry on, and they're trying to set up Hjärnan for success, because Hjärnan, if he gets Varus, he can do fine on that one. There's also things like a Sivir, which is his old school pick that he hasn't really gotten to play.
That's when we
yet.
were talking about him being the carry on Rocket, when he was busting out the Sivir, when he was the guy who so consistently dealt damage in late game fights.
And with all these AD carry bans, there is the possibility of it. It could really benefit them. It is Sion locked in first. Flex pick, can go mid, can go top.
And now the issue I have with this Deficio is that we liked yesterday that we saw carries for PerkZ, a champion he could make impact on, carries for Wunder. Someone has to play the tank here.
Yep.
Somebody has to accept kind of more of a backseat role, more of the initiation position rather than the damage option.
All right, Jactroll has played a lot of time Kench in the past. Typically, Vitality like to grab it early, especially if things like Zyra Khan are not there for them to take, so they will lock it in. Sejuani, of course, for Gilius, kind of been his main pick all split long. Now, Jankos can go Kha'Zix if he wants to try and do what Maxwell did last game. Otherwise, Zach is banned, so we can look at Skarner or Olaf if he wants another one of these like very aggressive picks where he can try and be a little bit of a carry.
I want to see what the option is. Are they going to put Jankos? Give him the onus to carry this game. He is kind of a star player for this team.
Oh, we going late game, baby.
Kog'Maw picked up for Hjärnan against everything G2 have drafted in the last few weeks in terms of what they want to go for. We'll wait on the final pick here. But with the Kog'Maw locked into Deficio, this is not the Ezreal. This is not the Varus. You do not leave this pick alone. This is something that you want to come online as you go later in the game.
Yeah, the moment you get Rage Blade, suddenly you can actually play around Hjärnan. You get super, super strong when it comes to individual trading as all that it carries. But Ryze was left open in this draft. Jiizuké, he created montage earlier in the split. He created highlight moments, 1v2ing people in the bottom lane on Ryze specifically. It is one of the biggest playmaking champions for Jiizuké personally.
And it is one of the most banned champions up against Vitality. Not something we ever expect to get through the draft, but in the chaos of banning so many of these comfort picks away, banning so many of these AD carries, Jiizuké gets his hands on it. So I want to see what PerkZ is going to bring to the table.
I wonder if you do will ban Jinx. We know Minitroupax can play it. Yamada Cannon's shoes. He wins this battle against Grabs.
The green suit. St. Patrick's
Let's
Day.
see the shoes again.
Just give us, yeah, the shoe cam. Guys, I understand this is an important game, but those are great shoes. Take a moment.
Good. We got the Jinx ban, the one we just talked about here, which is what Minitroupax showed last time. If he wants another late game carry, there's always Vayne, but it's mainly just been Sheriff, where we kind of thought maybe he would play it. Twitch did get buffed on this patch, but man, playing Twitch against a Rage Blade AD carry on one item sucks. Oh, he's going for
The Ashe. Okay, now this is always a debate when we look at Vitality. Is Minitroupax better on a carry? Is it better for the team, rather? Minitroupax is on a carry or something with utility. The Ashe has looked good for him.
But last time we saw this, it was against Caitlyn specifically, and then they played heavily around the bottom side. They can do the same thing here. Ryze can move down with ult. They can use the Ashe arrow to set up plays against Hjärnan specifically. Let's see where the Sion will go. It is GP locked in, so that tells us it's going to be Sion mid lane, and we're going old school here. I say old school, we're going a few weeks back. A few patches back for Wunder.
Now, mana nerfs, of course, to how much parlay costs early on do hurt him in the early game, but it has been a fantastic pick for Wunder. Big reason that G2 are winning. Now the Kha'Zix comes in for Jankos as well, so it looks like after so long spent trying to carry G2, PerkZ is actually going to be the member to take a backseat, to let other people step up and be the big carries.
But PerkZ can carry in the early game with Sion, still. Like so many people say, it's basically a guaranteed mid lane turret. With Sion, once you get Banner of Command, it's so hard to defend against it, and he can be very active on the map. And this Kha'Zix here can be so crucial, because Vitality also love to try and put Jiizuké in the side lane and set him up to be a bit of a split pusher. Kha'Zix is one of the junglers that can punish that.
I mean, we saw it from Maxlor last game, right? If you are ever alone, Kha'Zix comes in and kills you. Now, we've seen Jiizuké outplay people, but are Vitality going to rely on that again? Individual skill to bring it home for him.
It's impressive how much focus G2 are going to put on Hjärnan now. We have waited basically 9 weeks for this kind of setup to happen. Wunder is on the GP, the famous one for him specifically, but as you highlighted before, it is nerfed. It's definitely not as strong as it used to be. And while he can still do fine in laning phase and his scaling is still great, it feels less like a Wunder game and more like Hjärnan, specifically in this pick and ban phase.
And I want to see Deficio, how they'll play the early game, what they're going to do up against his Vitality lineup. Big implications in this game. Once again, the battle for second. You see Jankos telling the team, talking about the strategies. Which lanes are we going to gank? Where are we going to center our attention? He knows they want to shut down Vitality. Don't want to let them get that ball rolling because Deficio, we've seen what happens when Vitality start a snowball.
And we know Vitality want to play around Ashe after level 6. Set up aggressive plays with it. We know Vitality will want to enable Jiizuké later on in the game to be a split pusher. Half the time Kench sitting mid who can always join if something happens, but that's where the Kha'Zix from Jankos can be the big pick to shut down the side lanes completely. Set Wunder up to get ahead on this GP. And then of course Hjärnan, when it comes to late game fights, we're looking at him for the first time in 9 weeks.
It's been an interesting season for Hjärnan. He's had some good Tristana moments. 5-1 on the champion. The Varus, the Ezreal, more recent picks for him. Now getting the game. Battle for the bye, folks. G2 versus Team Vitality. Level 6, where we're looking for bot lane. The Ashe arrow comes online. Gilius has the ultimate as well. But for G2, Deficio, I see the Sion. I know it's so strong in the early game, but Wunder may need to play back. What do G2 actually play around in the early game? What is their objective early on?
It's always hard to play around a GP, and your side doesn't really offer you anything you want to gank for. Very often low damage, no CC setup. PerkZ, on the other hand, is one of the ways they can look towards, but ideally I think they just want to farm for ultis and not necessarily force any plays early on their side.
And of course, now that you've seen the drafts, you can head on over to Twitter, tell us who you think maybe won the draft, who's going to get the playoff bye here. If G2 win, they have to play the tiebreaker with Splyce, but maybe they win another game after that. Maybe you think it's Splyce. They're not even in this game. Maybe you think Vitality takes it. Hashtag every game counts has just been whispered in my ear, so I will let you guys know about it.
Oh, someone had to tell you while it was also on screen.
I think I got so caught up in talking about the stakes that I forgot to mention that you should also use the hashtag. But we did it. We talked about the hashtag. Every game counts except for that last game. Forget about that one. But that's not why we're here, Deficio. Focus up on G2 versus Vitality.
Gilius solo starting on red buff at the moment. Real bot lane here. Minitroupax and Jactroll will show himself early. Jankos does get a leash from his bottom lane, which Vitality can communicate. Meaning, obviously, on top side, Cabochard to be a little bit more careful for a potential level 3 gank. But as I said before, ganking for a GP does not feel great as a jungler.
Hjärnan. Gonna throw down a few autos. This lane kind of oppressive early on. Of course, Ashe with the volley. So easy to just harass the opposition. It looks like Vitality are set up to get the early level 2.
Well, we'll get it very close to G2's turret. Would be hard for them to actually force anything with it specifically, or to get a little bit of a trade advantage in the early game. I want to look around mid lane with Jiizuké, because when he plays this Ryze, it's where Vitality found so much success in ganking for him early, get him ahead, he becomes the strong split pusher, and then he kind of takes over the game. It is harder now, much longer cooldown on his ulti, especially on 8.5. You can no longer, of course, after a few patches, use that stopwatch ulti to get away, so he's not even taking it in this case here. You do get punished a lot more if you overextend inside lanes, and that's where the Kha'Zix pick can come up huge for G2 later. But Jankos, of course, as we said before, he started red, hovered towards the top side, and that's why Cabochard is going to play as safe as possible.
Good aggressive play from Jankos will give himself a camp lead. Jiizuké clearly harassing out. Very comfortable in this lane. Sion going to need a few more levels under his belt before he can get anything else. And the early back for Jiizuké, great to have. Can pick up that tier right away, start stacking, stay in this lane just about indefinitely.
So both junglers effectively going to opposite sides of each other, and we see bot lane, Minitroupax and Jactroll did everything they could to get the early push on their side. Jiizuké will TP back, just around the mid lane.
Walking to the side, going through the choke though, a little bit tough. Perk's not going to opt to use the decimating smash.
He knows the jungler's not there. Now, of course, he needs to respect the fact that Jankos could be around mid lane, and that's why, of course, Jiizuké is hovering to the bottom side.
Yeah, has so much vision there to protect him too. So good setup from both Jiizuké and from Gilius to make sure that he can comfortably push aggressively.
It is fun to see, though, this week how G2 lost a bunch of games, looked super weak, realized, okay, we need something where Wunder can actually deal a ton of damage. We need something where Wunder can become a carry again. So it's Camille yesterday. Despite a very unsuccessful early to mid game, they still had the late game with Wunder specifically as showing up. And now they go back to this GP pick for him that was so good earlier on. So it's going to be ton of gold on his side, farm him up as much as possible, and then try and utilize him in late game team fights to try and win you the game. And put him in that side lane for as long as possible and try and kill Cabochard on this Gnar.
And it's interesting because these are both of the champions that we saw hit very hard on 8-4. Gnar and GP both kind of taken down a notch in terms of their potency. They were the most picked top laners. GP, of course, pretty much banned or first picked in every single game, especially by G2. And now Wunder seems comfortable in the lane phase so far. Does not seem like this is a champion that has been shut down too terribly, as Wunder actually has a CS advantage and a wave pushing towards his tower.
Again, we have to remember Cabochard, obviously respecting Jankos as well, being on that side, and his own jungle going to the other side. No help coming in from Gilius, but of course great for Wunder with the early advantage on his side. As we said before though, G2 happy to wait for ultis to be ready. Happy to wait even for Hjärnan to get his first full item before they can make plays around his side. Minitroupax kind of just waiting for level 6 specifically. Both junglers farming, trying to deny each other.
And of course, we take a look at the jungle matchup. It's so incredibly crucial for this to see who can actually get the edge here. Gilius playing much more standard tank. Jankos, strange to see him on a carry, it feels like. But both these guys have been very active for their teams.
I like the jungle meta at the moment because there are tanks plus carries you can play. Mid lane proximity, very low for Gilius when it looks the specific jungle matchup. Jankos have put a bit more effort in, but I think like those percentages are so close to each other anyway, and if you're just very effective with your gank, you show up quickly, you get a kill, then it doesn't really matter how much time you actually spend.
If I remember correctly, the percentages are about 7 seconds per percentage, so it's about 30 seconds difference, give or take.
And Gilius typically when he goes mid is actually pretty quick. Like in, get the gank, leave again.
This is that gank. 3 stacks though, not going to connect the 4th, and PerkZ quite comfortable. Just punishes him for walking into the lane, but it will set up another free back for Jiizuké. No TP this time, so we wanted to have the laner come help him, make sure he gets the safe back.
Jiizuké not really struggling at all in this specific laning phase here. Easily for him to kill the wave. PerkZ not able to return a lot of damage towards him. We're still waiting for PerkZ to get his first item, specifically, to be very annoying against AP champions.
I think Banner of Command, maybe?
Still a great choice, what we're seeing on him. And we have to remember, it is nerfed on 8.5.
True.
Doesn't stack with that Baron boss.
Still makes him magic immune, though. So,
of course,
pretty great for the Ryze.
Still
pretty terrible for the
item.
Ryze, rather. Good, solid choice. Part of the reason Sion's so popular, of course. You talked about it. Guaranteed first tower mid, if you pick the Sion. I mean, of course...
In theory.
In theory. But we'll track. We'll see if the prediction does come true. The other one we're keeping our eyes out is level 6 in the bot lane, level 5 for Minitroupax and Jactroll. Minitroupax has been there for a while, so we might see it soon. They are heading back to lane to pick up that wave as G2 push in, and I wonder if we see a lane swap. Get away from this this Ashe.
I mean, the thing is, you kind of want to keep Wunder sitting and just farming in his lane. You don't necessarily want to speed up the game there, but you can always use GP ult very effectively when you do lane swap. They try and match on the other side, you just GP ult down, kill most of the wave. But I think you're at G2, again, you're happy to continue to farm as much as possible. Oh, big one.
For the outplay. Great oranges. Gonna make it all K. Still wants to leap in, wants to get one. First blood, cannon barrage. Too late.
Cabochard just destroyed Wunder right there.
Oh, and Gilius wants the outplay. Stun goes go in. He knows he's stealth. He's gonna try to lock him up. Cannot get a follow-up stun because he led with the ulti.
Big plays for Vitality all of a sudden. Cabochard was down in gold, down in farm, but then he gets the first blood for himself. Jiizuké taking a bit of damage from PerkZ, but...
First of the ultimate available. Difficult for Jiizuké to play around, getting quite low, but he knows Gilius is there. Not 100% sure.
PerkZ doesn't have a jungler because he was back in base. Can't really all in. That's going to be blue buff steal for Vitality. On their side, PerkZ moving towards the bottom side will get spotted by double control, but he's
gonna
fast.
use the ultimate. Tahm Kench.
Already flashed.
Do here. That's being smashed. Jactroll trying to make his way out. Have used a bit. TP is now coming into the backside. Jactroll may go down before the fight even starts. PerkZ could be in trouble though. Jiizuké now in on the backside, wants to do the damage, but Wadid is there to block for his teammate. Deathbang Smash comes out. He's going to have to flash for safety. Hjärnan still on the front line. Jiizuké still playing without fear, but he's going to get taken down. No opportunity. Jankos is here too. That's a manaless Ashe. No summoner spells, but he's not going to go. Is he?
He's fine. He's fine.
Oh, so close, Deficio.
But that was a great play from G2. PerkZ, he doesn't care about your control wards. He's just rushing down with ult. Jiizuké tried to respond right there, but Jactroll very early on had to flash. We didn't get to see it on screen, but I think Wadid just jumped him instantly. I think that was a free kill for PerkZ when he arrived, and Jiizuké tried to turn around, but Wadid's shield perfect to block the damage from Ryze. And suddenly, 2 kills for G2 Esports after losing their top lane in the 1v1.
Exactly what they wanted. PerkZ gets to go back, buy more MR, even more comfortable in this lane, but Gilius trying to bring it back. Good damage on the red buff. Aftershock comes in as well. Heals up just a little bit. Gilius wants it so bad, but he's walking face first into PerkZ. He can't get it. Has to back off. Oh, that is brutal.
Jankos walks away from that one. Gilius, he thought he had the guaranteed kill. He was close. PerkZ saved him. So Minitroupax surviving in the bot lane. Jankos surviving around the mid lane. Good early trades.
And the thing I love, level 6 comes in for Minitroupax, and immediately G2 are bot lane. They say, this is where you want to play? No, no, no. Sir, this is where we want to play. Go bot lane, shut the Ashe down. Sorry, Arrow not going to be effective here. But Cabo playing well around the top side. Jiizuké is here. We saw this in week 1, game 1. Not going to work this time.
Cabo actually thought that Wunder would be on the other side of the turret here, but he just got smacked into it on the bottom side, and therefore follows up stun did not connect. But of course, they get a TP from PerkZ. So it was effectively just Jiizuké walking top and forcing a big, big cooldown. This is just the engagement with Wadid. PerkZ on the way, and there's no flash on their Tahm Kench. Very easy kill for him, and I get why Jiizuké wants to TP in, because he knows there's going to be low members, but Wadid have saved the shield here, puts it up in front, blocks as much damage as he can, and now the turnaround is really good from G2. I think Jiizuké could have tried to walk away, would probably still have died to Jankos.
We talked about it though. Jiizuké, he's the man who wants to outplay. He's the man who's had to outplay,
again.
but now Minitroupax needs to run. Jactroll is the up to devour. They're going to focus on him. He's just going to walk this one down. Is going to get taken out. Good kill comes in from Jankos and G2.
And it's G2 Esports playing around the bottom lane in the early game. Hjärnan now getting ahead in CS. A lot of early gold with the assist. A ton of damage on the bot lane turret. 2 plays from G2 around the most criticized AD carry in all of EU LCS. And so far, it's working.
Working very well. 2-0-1 for Wadid, the bloodthirsty support action. As we see trading mid, I think we got to remember, Vitality were so good at the start. But that slump in the middle, Deficio, it looked so rough for this team. And a lot of that was when they stopped playing around the mid lane. Jiizuké, he's on his comfort champion. Everything is going well, but things have already started off on the wrong foot.
A lot of teams also figured out how to kind of play against Vitality. Jiizuké stopped getting some of the champions where he could be the big carry, and we were kind of waiting for someone else then to step up next to him. I think Cabochard has not been the person they could consistently rely on to be a big carry in the games, even though he got a lot of counter picks for himself. They still had to play around mid to find success, but Minitroupax did step up lately, and they had this Ashe where they want to play around him specifically with ult, but it's G2. They know there's no flash on the support. There's GP ult coming in, and they can just secure another kill. Hjärnan got multiple points in his W, so he's early damage. Soon gonna spike a lot when the Rage Play is completed.
And that's one of the big things about the Ashe. Why we don't see her nearly as much as the Varus. One item for Ashe feels so bad compared to the early Rage Blade spike we see from the Kog'Maw or the Varus.
All right, we talked about this much earlier. Trying to go top with the Ryze. Looking for another play onto Wunder. Flash not ready. Few seconds.
Gnar on the way, are going to connect the ult, saving the CC. Chain CC comes in. Easy kill pickup across the board. Vitality bring that one down.
Let's see what happens bot lane. Cross mapping here for G2, but Jankos, he's just grabbing the Drake. TP is available for Cabochard if you want to do something defensive. Jiizuké needs a few more seconds on his. G2, I don't think they can get the bot lane turret here. Vitality will be able to defend because the global's also ready.
Ashe available for Minitroupax. Can't force out the Braum shield at his pace. Jankos going to get the consolation prize. That is the Cloud Drake. Will make him much faster. But no tower has dropped. Jankos is now free, though, to pressure the bottom side tower if they want to keep it going. Jactroll. That was cheeky, but I really respect it. They are going to get it. They're going to get the vision. That's one of those little plays that kind of means nothing to Deficio, but I like because it's just a little disrespectful. You let them know.
You'll take it every time. So Vitality have identified bot lane, lost cause, don't care. Top lane, that's where we can pick up kills. They get it on to the GP, and again, because they had TP on Cabochard and soon on Jiizuké, they knew that the bot lane could still be defended. And that's why Minitroupax and Jactroll could stay, kill the wave. So first turret for Vitality, slight goal lead on their side. Ban of Command is ready for PerkZ. It is time to siege the mid lane turret over and over and over.
And lo and behold, who shows up? The man with physical damage himself, none other than Cabochard, just to clear the banner minion, Deficio. Team play at its finest.
I love it. There's still 2 dematerializers on Jiizuké as well, just in case he needs them. Jankos around the mid lane at the moment will get spotted by the control ward.
Wunder's here too. Okay, just look for an aggressive dive. PerkZ has the ultimate. If they connect any CC, Jiizuké should just die. Does not have a lot of mana.
They're looking bot lane again. Remember that TP from Cabochard. It is available.
They see Jiizuké's They know they have fight advantage if they go for this. This should be the bot lane tower. I'm just going to set sights on that, use the Unbreakable to body block so Hjärnan can free hit onto the tower. Now going to back off. Meanwhile, Cabo is pushing on the top side.
All right, Hjärnan now on next back will fully complete the Rage Blade for himself. They can move him around and keep playing around his lane. He's going to be the stronger AD carry. They have the Braum next to him to set up any sort of tower dive or protect Hjärnan in case Vitality make a double TP play. G2 can match it as well. PerkZ and Wunder copying the summoner spells. Jankos finding Cabochard.
Ooh, Cabo could be in trouble. GP's on the way too. This is not at all where Cabo wants to be. He's going to go down. Nope, double bounce. Ooh, cannot quite hit the blast cone in time. Overstaying its welcome there in enemy territory.
Yeah, that was very unnecessary from Cabochard. Probably just thought he could quickly take the blast cone out, but then suddenly everyone from G2 show up and kill him. That was a kill over for Wunder as well. He gets the Trinity Force. Gold-wise, slight lead for G2. Item-wise, Trinity Force Rage Blade completed. Big lead for G2 in that case.
Have to see if they're going to be able to use it. What can they do? We see Pause coming out on screen.
I mean, right now, G2 should be able to go top, secure that turret. Rift held, again, top side. That can be next objective for them. They can grab, and that's pretty big to continue this advantage in terms of gold. A lot of European teams are not very good at playing around Rage Blade. In this case here, they've set it up nicely. They've made sure Hjärnan could win his lane. Keep playing around him.
So Wadid, the control key did pop out of his keyboard. So the thing he was banging on was the control key. He had to put it back in, and now we can play the game. So we will be resuming shortly. Yeah.
Otherwise, he can get my control key.
Deficio's up here banging on the control key.
It works.
By the way, for anyone not double checking.
Come and get it. Come and get it.
Deficio, I think when we look at this team for G2, they have so much wave clear, and it feels like it's so easy for them to get lane priority now. And the biggest thing about the Ryze nerfs was it's a little bit harder for him to clear those waves as we get later in the game.
See around mid here. As you highlighted, of course, if Vitality do fall behind with this composition, it's going to be hard for them. Also, especially hard to kill Hjärnan in the late game. They don't exactly have a ton of champions who's just diving in and destroying an AD carry. It's very much who can kill the front line first, or can Jiizuké find a great flank. But on Ryze, especially against Braum, it's really hard because Braum puts up the shield in front of you and your damage does not connect on the correct target.
Which then puts onus on Cabochard. We've talked about him not being the biggest center of attention, but a good Gnar ult can win a game anytime. But it's going to be so hard for them to actually set up against this composition. First now, though, taking a bit of poke damage in the mid. Now, the other thing you talked about during the pause, Deficio, was Rage Blade and how European teams have struggled to play around it. G2's one of those teams. On the Varus, they've never really played around Hjärnan on the Rage Blade. I wonder if we're going to see that change now that he's on the Kog'Maw.
Well, they are, again, playing top side. Vitality trying to prevent it by group mid, push in mid, get a bit of vision on top lane, stop, Hjärnan from getting to the turret and start hitting it. But they have a couple of minutes on G2's side to do this. They should be able to reclaim control on the top side just because they have a very strong AD carry. At the moment, you already got 5 ranks in your W. You got the first item you need. Jactroll can always hold up. That's what we're seeing here.
Bring him up. They have the main advantage here. Wadid now in trouble. Needs to use the Unbreakable to buy a bit of time. Double TP now comes in. They need to burn someone down before the TP is complete. TP comes in from Cabo, but it's a little bit late, and he's going to be in Mini-Gnar. Not what they need, but Jiizuké has taken one down. Everyone from G2 is here. The arrow for fall. This is exactly what they want. Ryze ult into the middle of the team. PerkZ needs to run for his life, but he doesn't have any mana. The flash forward. Cabo wants a little bit more. PerkZ is giving up his life. Zombie mode. Not going to be effective against the Ashe. Has to walk it out. Great play from Vitality to bring up the 2 kills.
That's why we just talked about mid lane control. The Tahm Kench can instantly ult towards it, and they knew that G2 would play top side. They knew they had a chance to maybe punish it. G2 actually figured, we have double TP, we got GP ult, we can actually win this fight. But the 4.5 seconds on TP, compared to a Tahm Kench showing up instantly, gave a big numbers advantage for Vitality for a few seconds, and they utilized that to win the fight. And that's huge, because now they get the Rift Held. This was supposed to be G2 controlling this top side. Huge, huge play for Vitality specifically. Gilius is up here to time it perfectly, and while the TPs are coming, and Wadid is doing a perfect job trying to buy time, takes too long for G2 to show up, and they've already lost the AD carry, the strong member, and they will lose the fight.
Exactly what they wanted, Deficio. We expected it maybe later in the game to look for the use of the Ryze TP, but here it is.
Oh, stays alive.
Good Unbreakable.
Oh, no, he died in the end.
3 kills, not 2. Such a close fight, but you can see everybody sharing the damage burden on the side of Vitality. Good job, Hjärnan. I don't know how much of that damage was passive damage, but but he did something in the last team fight.
Still
for sure.
so huge for Vitality with this good play here. Mid lane.
Trying to take down Jactroll. Easiest one to shut down. Jankos is on the way in. Multiple members here. Jactroll is just overextended. G2 happy to pick it up. Great punish, and now they can set up to take down the mid lane tower. Sion guaranteed to get mid lane tower to Deficio. Maybe not how you expected, but there it is.
Doesn't matter, he gets in. That's all we care about. G2's turn to make a play on Vitality.
Deficio. I mean, Rift Herald gives Vitality a slight edge. Cloud Drake maybe an edge for G2, but this game is so even. They're fighting for second place.
I love
18 minutes in, 5-5 in kills. Gold, 100 difference, if that, between the two teams.
Let's see what happens specifically around mid. Gilius is calling that 3 guys are on the way, but Jactroll is... I don't know. I don't know why you do that. Like, you're never going to gain anything from that play, and you're not Flash.
Immediate follow-up. Wunder now in trouble. Not enough health there to survive. Gonna try to make it out. Easy follow-up, though, for Gilius. He points and click there with the permafrost.
So the thing I like the most about this game is they're always trading. You get a big play, great. Then we return to the map, now we get a play, and then you just see how much do you actually gain each time. Vitality, when they killed multiple members top lane, they got the Rift Herald as well. That was big. G2 return to favor mid, get a mid lane turret. Now Cabochard makes the play bot lane with Jiizuké, and they get this bot lane turret for themselves. Maybe it's Gilius. They made a play with someone.
And the Cloud Drake. So it's a you get a Cloud Drake, we get a Cloud Drake kind of thing. Gilius going to summon the Rift Herald as well. So Vitality just looking to keep the ball rolling. We talked about this. When they find a lead, they push so hard to keep growing it.
And it's pretty big for them that Jiizuké has picked up 3 kills, 2 fully completed items. The mana already stacking. Like, this is a very fed Ryze we're watching at the moment, and that's exactly what you want if you're Vitality. Your most important player is the one who's getting all the kills.
Slow burn. G2 going to be able to defend the tower. Minitroupax going to be devoured up. PerkZ clearly debating. Does he ult in? Do they want to continue this fight? Minionar's on the way. Does not look like a good bet for them. But Hjärnan is alive and well. Low mana means it's going to be tough for him to keep up with the Bio-Arcane barrage.
And with now Vitality stopping the initial play on that top lane turret, it's really slowed down how G2 can play around the AD carry. They know the moment Hjärnan goes to a side lane, if Vitality get mid control, Jactroll just ults towards Hjärnan, and the fight is on. There's TP from Jiizuké, nothing on the side of PerkZ and Wunder. So G2 don't have the globals on their side. Makes it very risky to set up anything, and it does slow it down a bit for them. Meanwhile, Vitality can set up the 1-3-1 again. Minitroupax holds mid with Jactroll. Jiizuké controls his side lane, and Cabochard opposite side of the map.
Feels like a great setup for Vitality. Ball is exactly in their court. You talk about the Ryze having 3 kills, exactly what they wanted. But on the opposite side for G2, Hjärnan started well, the 0-0-3, gets picked off, kind of hurt in that individual exchange. What's the next course of action for G2? What do they actually use to stop Vitality from just starting up a 1-3-1, from using a potential global advantage from Tahm Kench?
Whenever you have 1-3-1 comms, mid lane control, this becomes such an important part. PerkZ can kill the wave very quickly, and then he can threaten ult to the side lanes to potentially stop Vitality. But I think if you are G2, you got your second item now on your hyper carry. You need your GP as well to catch this Gnar here, and then it's going to be all about 5-on-5 team fighting on G2's side. I feel like there's more split push options on Vitality, but if you protect Hjärnan in these team fights and he gets towards the late game, that will always be a huge win condition.
Oh, I can't protect him from that, though. Gilius on the flank, the follow-up. CC Hjärnan running for his life. He's exhausted, but he heals up, and now he can start to fire back. Gilius taking a lot of damage here. They have stacked up the Rage Blade. The fight instantly turning. They can't kill the Kog'Maw. They have to back off.
Well, top lane Jiizuké, he's not afraid of PerkZ. This Ryze is so far ahead at the moment. He can keep playing aggressive. Jankos is on the way. Remember, Jactroll's ult is here.
This is what we talked about. Shutting down the side lane split pushers with the Kha'Zix. Goes in onto Jiizuké. Jiizuké needs to try to find a way out. Jankos takes so much damage back in the return. This is one strong Ryze. Is going to use the Realm Warp. Trying to get a little bit more. Gilius goes over the wall. He wants to take down Jankos. Needs one more stack. Can he get it? Where is the flail of the Northern Winds? I can't even see if he got it in the end. Jiizuké now looking for the collapse. Oh, goodbye, Jankos. That might not be it. Can he look for the outplay? Great
His team is coming. Wadid is here. No one's dying.
Hjärnan has the Rage Blade. They can't look for the follow-up. They managed to land one stack. It's all on Jiizuké to look for the outplay. They now have to run for their life. Ooh, Gilius is so low.
Meanwhile, we didn't get to see this, but in the mid lane, Jactroll died. He was really low, but he still tried to get in position to ult over and save Jiizuké. It actually killed him. Minitroupax, he's still mid, so he just gets a turret around the tower.
Vitality win another exchange.
Barely. That was a close one.
Every exchange, Deficio, it's either someone dies instantly or one team barely wins.
So, Jactroll low after the fight before. Wadid puts down a ward. Knows he's in there, also because he decided to lick the ward.
Oh.
And yeah. Whoops.
Whoops. A little rough. Well played by G2 to shut that down, though. That could have gone very differently if they got up there. Good news is they still managed to get the mid lane tower.
So the moment you see the ward come down and you have a control ward, you will, of course, disable it. Don't hit it. Jankos!
Jankos immediately leaps onto Jactroll. Minitroupax potentially in trouble. Needs to use the Devour to try to save him, but he has been locked up for so long. Minitroupax now has to flash, uses the arrow, tries to back out. Chain CC comes in. Hjärnan reaps the benefits as he takes down Jactroll. PerkZ picking up Troupax.
And G2, they find success every time they get to go mid. PerkZ can make a play together with the rest of his team. They shut down the bot lane of Vitality. They don't care about the 1-3-1 as long as they get that mid lane.
And they're going to get an inhibitor here. Jiizuké's not even backing off. They don't have enough time.
The banner is in action right now. The cannon.
GP ult is going to stop Jiizuké from pushing any further. This is so good for G2. Beautiful play, Deficio. Fantastic for the G2 lineup.
It's actually been a big problem for Vitality that Jactroll multiple times will sit without flash in that mid lane and give a very easy engage over to them because they're trying to set up 1-3-1 here. They don't have a turret to protect them, and the moment they just step forward slightly, G2 punished them. That was actually a super good call, and they know with things like Sion to follow up, you can always land the ult, you can get some CC on them. Jankos and Cabochard will spot each other, but that doesn't matter for now. Cabochard is the only one applying pressure. Just trying to steal this one away. Baron, of course, is something we haven't really talked about this game because it's been about one team wants to fight mid lane, the other team wants to try and split push. Baron is being started, G2 on the way, Jankos coming from red buff, so he's pretty far away now.
6k and dropping. Vitality taking a lot of damage from this. Gilius going to heal up very quickly, but a little bit of a desperation play there. Not willing to commit to that, not willing to take the risk.
Gilius, with the Warmox though, also with the Ruby Crystals, will be above 3k HP, so he does get the full effect of that item, and he can tank the Baron, walk away, get full HP again. The rest of his team, not exactly the same. G2 reacting quickly, and we get like a full map reset from Vitality side. Every single lane needs to get pushed out once again. And Cabochard will go top. Jiizuké will take control of the bottom side. Remember Jiizuké? No TP on his Ryze here. He swapped it over to Ghost, so that's of course meaning Infernal Drake seems to be the next thing on the menu if he's actually going bot lane. But in this case, because Vitality had a full reset, they're not ready on the map to contest for Drake. This is what happens when you invest what you consider your window and trying to rush down things like a Baron. You get forced to recall. Suddenly the other team can make a play, but with the Vitality.
Multiple members on the way. What do we got for TPs? Wunder available, PerkZ not quite. Vitality just going to back off.
Ooh, these fairly greedy Baron calls. Costing Vitality and Infernal Drake pretty big in this game, and they're not getting anything in return. All the lanes once again.
And now they give up all of their vision around the pit, which sets up G2 perfectly if they want to take this. They have a tank in the form of Sion. They have GP. They have Kog'Maw. They can cut down a Baron so quickly.
Always the important thing. Even though you don't die when you start that Baron, you give up all tempo you have. Because you need to go back then, reset your lanes. The enemy team gets full control of the Baron, but as long as they stop you from getting the Baron, G2 will be happy with this. Hjärnan almost on 3 items now.
We just have to remember how much pressure is on both these lineups, why Vitality might be going for these desperation calls, because you can see this is the battle for them to tie up with Splyce. Vitality, however, owns the head-to-head, so if they win here, they get second, no questions asked. G2, on the other hand, have to play. They have 1-1 record with Splyce. We'll take a look at it in just a moment. You can see how important it is for G2 to find the win here. How crucial. Oh, now PerkZ gonna look for the follow-up. Gilius. Chain CC does come in. If the jungler gets taken down, this could be everything, but Jactroll's going to be able to swallow him, trying to take him to safety. Minitroupax looking for the disengage. Good flash, takes him out. Advantage to G2, but no one has dropped yet. They may still be able to hold on.
Oh, they're trying to disengage. Cabochard is still pushing bot lane, but Jactroll, he will die.
Every single ult is looking to be used here. Pulling back and taken out as Jankos grabs the kill.
G2 can start the Baron and force that TP from Cabochard, or just get the big objective. Top lane turret also open if they want some gold there, but Cabochard will get the bot lane for himself. Baron being started now. Let's see if Cabochard wants to react.
4 members. Gilius tough history when it comes to smite stealing. Maybe he can find it here. TP now coming in from Cabochard. Gilius running a strike, but there's the Mega Gnar. He's going to knock one back into the wall, but Gilius is already about dead. Minitroupax on the way. He wants to deal just a little bit more damage for the team. Jankos is running. Troupax is going to grab one. The slow manages to connect on a Wunder. He sends out the hawk shot. He's looking for more prey. Cabo brings it in. Jiizuké is on the way. That is the Realm Warp. G2 find themselves caught between a rock and a hard place. What is the call as Hjärnan and PerkZ look to retreat?
Staying together for now. Seems to be able to rock away, but Jiizuké, let's see, no flash on his side, no ghost either. Oh, they got the arrow.
Arrow connects. PerkZ trying to save his AD carry. Body blocks, buys a bit of time. Locking him up. Hjärnan ready to move forward if they can find the opportunity to deal damage, but both sides just backing off.
Have to see what happened right there for G2 Esports, because they ended up being completely split. Hjärnan could not stay with the rest of the team. He was dealing damage on one side. Cabochard came in just with Mega Gnar ready. Perfect timing for him because he got to kill the bot lane turret and TP in to save the day here. So they started, they want to force TP from bottom lane and then turn and get a 4v5 team fight. Let's see what happens when the engage comes in. Jiizuké is coming from top side. Cabochard comes down from the bottom. And now as he goes in, big ulti, Hjärnan is forced to flash away, gets a bit of damage, and now he also needs to respect Jiizuké. So there are 3 members fighting Jiizuké. And then Cabochard and Minitroupax gets to win the fight on the bottom lane and secure a bunch of kills for themselves.
And actually just the dream fight from Cabo. Comes in Mega, uses the ulti, gets to go mini to chase down the kills. Exactly what Vitality want.
And Jiizuké snuck in and got a kill onto Wadid and still stayed alive in that fight. This Ryze is still super fed in this game here. Currently sitting on just about 600 AP before 30 minutes.
You do not want to be Hjärnan in this game. You better pray and hope that Wadid is right next to you to body block those shots, or you are going to go down very quickly. Now using the banner to push up mid. They want the mid control. We talk about it around Baron every single time. It's in G2's pocket right now.
Cabochard has been able to just safely split push all game long. Jankos has not showed his face. You know, Wunder's been slightly behind when it comes to the early laning phase in CS, but of course as he's playing GP, there's a ton of additional gold coming in, and he's keeping up fine items. Let's see what happens around this. It's going to be all about execution in the next big team fight. Cabochard's TP's on cooldown, Drakos. We have to remember that.
PerkZ and Wunder both available. Maybe Jactroll can try to match. The Abyssal Voyage has to be careful though. We've seen it cancel before. Important note with itemization, Deficio, Hjärnan 2.5 items. Close to that 3-item point Kog'Maw loves to hit. Ashe, though, out of that awkward early single item phase, has the Runaan's, has the Essence Reaver, and the Infinity Edge as well. So that's a lot of damage if Minitroupax is left untouched.
Jiizuké, not been able to be the guy who's like killing people 1v1 in the side lanes, but done well in team fights. Jactroll, no flash again.
Maybe just gonna get caught out here. If Jactroll goes down, this could be huge. PerkZ is there. They burn so many ultis, but they take down the Tahm Kench.
And it happens again. The Tahm Kench is sitting mid without flash. G2, wait for the moment. My voice.
Giving up.
Waiting for the big moment.
Passionate.
But still, so many times we've seen G2 find success killing Jactroll mid. He tries to step forward just slightly. They engage on him. They have enough on the side with just PerkZ flying in, and of course Wadid trying to just land one former CC on the no flash Tahm Kench.
This will give them the tower. We'll start to even up the gold. Not a big difference. We're late enough in the game that 2K really isn't that much. The Infernal probably more important. But it does help them to a certain degree. We look again, we can see just a bit of an awkward scenario here for Jactroll.
Yeah, again, the moment he even steps towards the river and Jiizuké doesn't have any control topside, as you guys can see in the minimap, he just recalled, you die. You just have to give up the river there, and it's hurt Vitality quite a bit.
It's interesting, 0-7-2. Jactroll's most deaths in a single game, Deficio.
I mean, if someone got a feed, it might as well be the support, I guess.
Bit of a tough spot, though. He can't afford to keep getting caught out. Minitroupax may be caught out, though. Needs to make his way out. Good damage now comes in, but the stealth up from Jankos. He flashes back to safety. If Jankos gets caught here, it could be a turn and burn. Not going to find it. No chance for them to fire back.
Same scenario, though. Jiizuké is trying to push topside. G2 find an opening mid. Force Minitroupax back to base. Get 2 summoners from him as well.
And double Infernal Deficio on a triple carry threat comp. The Kog'Maw, the Kha'Zix, the Gangplank. All of these champions so happy to have that at their disposal. G2 now pulling back. Baron still, I think, on everybody's mind in this game. Vision control is going to be crucial. Neither team has full control set up. Vitality wanted to go for that aggressive backdoor play into the Baron pit. They could look to do it now. They're not going to keep taking those risks, though. Instead, they're going to go for the standard play. Push out mid, get the vision control, set up.
Oh, still waiting for that next big Baron fight. Who can kill the front line first? Well, there's more tanks on the side of Vitality. Obviously, on the side of G2, it is mainly PerkZ sitting there, and then Wadid with what he can do. But if you think about it, Cabochard's Gnar. You highlight this in champ, so like it could be the big hero. If he gets in there, forces Hjärnan to either flash away or get stunned into a wall, that's a lot of time bought for Vitality where they can kill PerkZ, who's probably sitting in that front line most of the time alone. And then suddenly they can win the fight. They're rushing it.
4K, they can get this down. Jankos will be able to make it to the pit. They are going to be able to get the Baron. Can they find the follow-up? G2 now need to find the fight. They're trying to get out. They managed to get multiple members out. Jactroll is the sacrificial catfish, but Vitality going to secure the Baron.
They've done this a few times, but they try and rush down these Barons here. G2 reacted early in the game, but this one, they just didn't make it in time. Jankos couldn't try and go for the seal. Big play from Vitality's side, and G2 can just look for the mid-inhib while Jactroll is currently dead for another 20 seconds.
Want to get it. PerkZ not afraid to walk in. Maybe they can start a fight. Maybe G2 can start to turn things in their favor here. Will Vitality go for the 4v5? Big, risky gambit.
Yeah, just give up the inhib. Give up the inhib. Don't risk losing a fight and potentially losing the game.
Cabo, though.
Jactroll's coming soon.
Getting a little cheeky.
Still fighting 4v5.
Doopie's on the backside immediately. Gilius is going to get caught out and taken down. G2 can try to find the turn here. Hjärnan untouched. Wunder on the front line. There goes Cabo. He wants it, but he's not going to find it. Beautiful flash out to safety. Wallop on the follow-up. Minitroupax, though, now can chase down. This is exactly what an Ashe loves to do. Arrow not available, but the slows are coming in. Boulder to follow up. Will not connect onto Wadid. G2 managed to get the disengage.
Oh, that was still risky from Vitality. There were only 4 members. In no base,
the flash forward. Cabo, no hesitation, has the Phantom Dancer, can chase down these targets, but there's no follow-up there.
Vitality, you got the Baron buff. Don't worry. You got the big objective. You're still fine. You don't have to rush in and try and kill someone. In the end, they still lost the jungler. They're pushing as 4 members now against 5. Just TP behind. Vitality, this is so risky.
Low.
Look at this double TP from G2.
Here comes the Sion, right down the mid lane. Minitroupax is gonna, ooh, no ulti used. No ulti. Wunder is there. They're walking out.
Right.
Both teams are so ready to fight.
Vitality actually just got double TP there.
We'll call that a win.
I think the fact they just managed to get the mid lane secured.
I think if it had taken them even 2 seconds more, we would have seen a Sion coming from behind. Minitroupax all on his lonesome.
So in the end, they lose mid inhib and they lose Gilius. But they get double TP from G2 and a mid lane turret.
And 1:30 left on the Baron. So the other question is, what else can they get while they have this buff? They do not have the luxury of Banner of Command, nor would it be effective against a champion like GP. They got to get something else. As you can see, with G2 getting an inhibitor, things are a bit grim.
But this is the 4v5 they're forcing here. Trying to see if they can get some crazy win after already losing inhib. They eventually lose the fight here. Jiizuké's damage is insane, by the way, when he gets on any of the squishy targets. And G2 get the 1 kill. They want to back away now. A lot of good damage from Minitroupax. We're back live.
6k damage from Hjärnan. No more Varus. No more Ezreal. It's Kog'Maw time for Hjärnan.
They need him to carry so hard. Engage.
Arrow going to be canceled out by the ulti use. Gilius is going to try to find the follower, but it's only going to connect on the Wadid. Now Vitality grouped up here. They have the Mega Gnar, but Cannon Barrage stops them from pushing any further.
Cabochard didn't have any good ward to TP on, so he just ends up joining the team. Can't get a big ulti off. Wunder's back. Bot lane. 5 members mid from Vitality's side.
Wunder looking for the split push. They're pushing in to super minions. This is going to be a tough fight. Wunder going to continue pushing on the bottom side. Looks like they might be willing to give this one up. Going to grab the tower in exchange. Inhibitor could be next. Wunder continues to push. He wants to grab an inhibitor of their own. Can G2 stop the backs? Ryze all going to try to take them out to safety.
And remember, they still got the Baron recall if they want to use it for at least a few more seconds.
They're taking the time, though. It's only a 4-second recall timer, but they're not going to take it. Wunder's just going to grab a tower for free.
Cabochard, he's back. He got it. Mid inhib for Vitality. Elder Drake coming as the next big objective in 1 minute. Back and forth team fights, a lot of trades. Gotta say, it's been a very active game. No one is giving anything up for free, other than Jactroll, who's dying a lot.
Sad but true. With an 0-8-2 scoreline, it's kind of hard to defend him. But he's been there in the team fight.
Not a KDA player. We gotta give him that one.
Say what you will, but Jactroll, not a KDA player. Sacrifices for the team. He died in that Baron pit so his team could escape. He is the hero that Vitality needs. Ooh, and Deficio. Elder Dragon, a big one. First Elder Drake, not everything, but if G2 managed to get the equivalent of 3 Infernal Drakes, extra true damage. I don't see a way that they lose a fight with that kind of buff.
Yeah, and the base is open. Like, if you get it, and you can walk straight up to that inhib and the Nexus, and you can just force Vitality to fight you, and you have the double Infernal plus Elder Drake, like, that will be so huge for G2.
You also have the GP with the Infinity Edge, the Sterix Trinity Force combo, the Static Shift.
He's getting there. Wunder is able to carry fights now.
So not only do you have to worry about Hjärnan, who's playing these fights quite well with the help of Wadid, but you also have to worry about Wunder, who has proven repeatedly that he is incredibly talented on this Gangplank in the late game.
But still, we have seen on Vitality side, both carries do really well in team fights. Minitroupax never getting caught out, and Jiizuké always looking to see if he can hit a squishy target. Gilius is around, G2 starting it.
PerkZ looking for the angle, they'll fire out the ulti. Maybe hoping to catch someone on the flank. Here comes the ulti. Gilius on the front line to the body block. Immediate Gangplank follow-up. Cabochard, keep your eyes on the Gnar. Where's it going to go? Can he get it in? Jiizuké trying to find the flank. Looking for a little bit more. Wall connects onto 2. Is he even going to get a chance to ult? Does not look like it. Vitality backing off. Locket used. Jiizuké manages to find one. Wunder taken down. Jiizuké just going to take the blast on over the wall. Manages to make it out. Arrow to stop any follow-up, but the CC is there. Decimating smash. There's the Kha'Zix, but it's not enough. Hjärnan fires back. It's the 1-for-1. A double for Jiizuké, and G2 are right back on the Elder Drake.
2 members here from Vitality. Cabochard running from base. Elder Drake being started. No junglers to use Smite on him. Oh, Minitroupax fairly low, and Jactroll can't really offer a whole lot yet. Cabochard is coming now.
6K, getting lower. Slowly dropping. They don't have a lot of damage here. There he goes, the Devour! Oh, PerkZ a bit too far. Now trying to peel back. Minitroupax in trouble. Decimating Smash not going to connect. Cabo wants to run. Hjärnan wants to finish this, but it's a split call from G2. It's PerkZ who's running. Gnar now comes in. Might be able to take him down before he can transform. We'll get a little bit of health back as he does so. Leap forward. Smash him into the wall. Is this the chance? Is this the turn? No. Minitroupax taken down. Gets greedy for the kill on Kog'Maw.
Gilius is here now.
Gilius too.
No one has killed Elder Drake yet. G2, they're very low in the base.
Minions
There's
in the
some
base.
super minions.
We've seen this before. We know what happens when Vitality find the backdoor play, but they will not find it today. Deficio, this is a bloodbath.
Elder Drake still alive. Minitroupax went all in on trying to kill Hjärnan instead of just turning to kill PerkZ after that ulti from Cabochard. All of G2 still looking towards that Elder Drake. They're all alive. They're on it right now.
They're taking a page from the Vitality book. They go right over the back into the pit. But Vitality are here. There's only 3 members in this pit. Wunder has to TP in. All to use. PerkZ, if he doesn't find it on Jiizuké, does manage to connect. Gilius now has to run. May just be able to take him down. Leap in from Jankos. He does not have the Sarah shield. Deleted immediately. 4 members on the Elder Drake. Gilius not even going to look for the connect. They're going to get it.
Gotta go. There's no carries alive. Minitroupax just respawned. G2 get the Elder Drake. There's 2 open inhibs in Vitality's base. Oh, G2 Esports. They lost so many games towards the end of this split, but they're still looking for that second place. Beat Vitality, and you get your tiebreaker against Splyce.
And this is G2 that we have not seen before. Hjärnan is stepping up as a carry. Jankos is stepping up, not on tanks to set up other people to carry, but carrying himself, leaping into these team fights. PerkZ is there as well. It doesn't matter if it's a tank or anything else. He has stepped up in these fights, but it's still so close.
Yes, that's the thing. We get the replay again. Minitroupax is dead. G2 here with their carries. PerkZ jumps. Jiizuké, he's the only threat right now. Take him down very quickly. He's isolated. Easy peasy for G2. Secure it. Should be able to get a Baron as well with this. Get open base from Vitality. So G2 will get all the buffs in the world. This game has been so back and forth that even though it should be enough for G2, I'm not going to call it yet. They still need to get the Baron.
Looking to pick off Cabochard. Does manage to make it out with Wadid on the front line. Cannon barrage has been used. They're trying to find the disengage. Jiizuké is not there. Minitroupax is all alone. Goodbye, sir. Absolutely gone. 2 kills on the quick pickup. Jankos looking for the reset here.
We'll get it. Jiizuké is on his way, but he's already lost his entire bot lane.
Gnar needs to be something. Tries to push him back. Stops the decimating smash, but Hjärnan is here. Wall up onto 3. Not enough. Multiple members now with G2. They are empowered by that Elder Drake.
Kills the wave.
Jiizuké wants to kill the wave, but he cannot stop the cannon minion, the magic immune coming through for G2.
G2 Esports want to get every single inhib and maybe more, but there's no minions for them yet. Just get the inhibs. Back away. Jiizuké can kill some minions. That's all on his side. So 3 inhibs should go down now. Reset, set up for Baron, and you should have everything in your favor if you're G2.
5K gold lead, Deficio. That even game at some points has been back and forth, but G2 now showing some dominance here, and Vitality just getting caught out again.
Well, at this point here, they didn't have the mid laner. So they couldn't really do anything, as I realized my mic was too far away from my mouth. Vitality, they know there's an Elder Drake. There's no Fed Ryze. That's gonna be, they're actually rushing down this Baron here.
They are going to get it. Well, this is a back and forth indeed. PerkZ, if he finds a pick, 3 inhibitors are down. Vitality, if they lose this fight, they will lose the game. Minitroupax has been knocked up. Wunder is here. Hjärnan is legendary. Jankos comes over. Savior of G2 as he manages to bring it in. Jiizuké is going to make it home. 3 inhibs down. I don't think Jiizuké can hold this.
That's all G2 needed. They did all the groundwork just before this one. Yeah, they lose the Baron, but who cares if you kill the enemy team? Jiizuké, time to 1v5.
I don't know if it's possible. He's running. There's just too much damage.
He tried.
Hjärnan picks up another one. 12, 1, and 9. Varus and Ezreal no more. Cabo getting run down as G2 storm into the base. They are going to knock Vitality down to 4th place, and they will face Splice in a tiebreaker, Deficio.
So important for G2 Esports. Rough ending to the split. Looked like they were not going to get that potential 2nd place, but they're still in it. Beat Unicorns yesterday, beat Vitality today.
And the battle for the bye is alive and well, folks. Tiebreaker, Splice versus G2.
Will be played later today.
And imagine that game. Coming into a game against Splice after that game. Everybody playing together, playing as a team. Your spirits have to be high.
It's so crazy. In order for G2 Esports to get to this point, they had to make that sick comeback yesterday against Unicorns Alone. All based around Wunder and Camille. Then today, they're like, yeah, you know what? Wunder needs to be able to deal damage. He has a GP for it, but then the change they make, they ban out Caitlyn, Xayah. They say, you know what? We know Vitality can play around bot lane, but we're going to deny that. And then they early pick a hyper carry for Hjärnan. They play around Hjärnan. They get him ahead in the early game. They get him ahead in CS. It gets shut down a bit, but they still get to late game fights. And then he ends up delivering a ton of damage. 12, 1, and 10 for Hjärnan. And man, he needed this so badly.
And look, Wunder, we know he's always been the guy to play carries. There's H2K high-fiving in the crowd. This time, give Wunder a carry. Give him the GP. You know who's going to step up and play a tank this time? Oh no, sir. Not the jungler. PerkZ, the man in the mid lane. So many fantastic engages from this Sion.
Insane game. Back and forth. Constant trading. But G2 found a lot of success constantly catching Vitality in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Jactroll getting caught repeatedly. Most deaths for a single player in the entire split. And I mean, that's not what you want from your support in this scenario. It is rough, but as a whole, Vitality were in the game for so long. It was only those last couple of plays where G2 really brought it together in the team fight.
Yeah, it's a lot about that Elder Drake, where we had the back and forths. You know, one guy dies, there's back in base, and G2 continue to kind of have the pressure there on their side. The crowd's still applauding for Vitality. They have locked in playoffs, of course, some time ago. Big thing for the Vitality organization, because they were constantly getting 7th place, sitting just outside of playoff until this new lineup gets put together. So despite losing this, absolutely sucks for them. They cannot get 2nd place anymore. Still going to be one of the most exciting teams to watch in playoffs.
I want to see what they can do in a best of 5. Well, don't forget to get your tickets for the finals in Copenhagen, the 7th and 8th of April, where you can watch the best teams in Europe battle it out for the trophy. Visit eu.lawesports.com for more information. We'll see if Vitality can get there now that they are in the quarterfinals. And with G2's wins, we've guaranteed to have at least one tiebreaker game after our regularly scheduled matches. These will be played on twitch.tv/EULCS for those of you watching on YouTube. You don't have to change the channel, just stick right where you're at. And now
hello, Medic.
For a closer look at the standings, hey, Medic, why don't you run us through it?
Thank you very much, Drakos. And hello, Deficio. I know you don't want to feel left out. We're back for another playoff checkup with Medic. Now, the standings are pretty much locked at the top of the table. Fnatic still sitting first. G2 and Splice have that tiebreaker game later on today to see who gets that 2nd spot and the bye to the semi-finals. Vitality are now locked in 4th. H2K are locked in 5th. Unicorns of Love, Giants, and Misfits can no longer make it to playoffs, so they are locked out of contention. What I want to do is have a look at the middle of the table because we had a few people asking exactly how are H2K already locked in the 5th spot when they are at the same win-loss as everyone else. When we have a tie like this with 4 teams who could all get to 8-0 if Sjokz win later on, we take the win-loss amongst those teams. So we compare how many games H2K has won and lost versus Roccat, Sjokz, and Misfits, and we put them on a table. H2K are at the top of that table, so they secured the 5th spot. Misfits are at the bottom, so they are last and cannot get to 6th, which is where you need to be to make playoffs. Then we look at Roccat and Sjokz's head-to-head against each other, and they are 1-1. So if Sjokz wins and gets to 8 and 10, they will have to play Roccat in a tiebreaker match later on in the day. So who does Sjokz have to win against if we're going to see that second tiebreaker game? Well, it's not the easiest of opponents. Only Fnatic left in Sjokz's way. If they can take that win, then they are in that tiebreaker match, but it's never going to be a simple affair for them. We're going to have to see if those tiebreakers do play out. They'll be played on twitch.tv/EU LCS, so make sure to tune into that. PGL will be there as well. So if we only have one tiebreaker game and then PGL, it's all on twitch.tv/EU LCS. That's it for me for now, but we'll be right back with this final game straight after this.
Minitroupax now has the flash, uses the arrow, tries to back out. Chain CC comes in. Hjärnan reaps the benefits as he takes down Jactroll. PerkZ, the way he wants to deal just a little bit more damage for the team. Jankos is running. Troupax is going to grab one. The slow manages to connect on a Wunder. He sends out the hawk shot. He's looking for more prey. Kog'Maw brings it in. Jiizuké is on the way. That is the Realm Warp. Maybe just going to get caught out here. If Jactroll goes down, this could be huge. PerkZ is there. They burn so many ultis, but they take down the Tahm Kench. Jankos will be able to make it to the pin. They are going to be able to compare. Can they find the follow-up? G2 now need to find the fight. They're trying to get out. They managed to get multiple members out. Jactroll is the sacrificial catfish. Manages to make it out. Arrow to stop any follow-up, but the CC is there. Decimating smash. There's the Kha'Zix, but it's not enough. Hjärnan fires back. It's the 1-for-1. A double for Jiizuké.
Okay, good job, good job, good job. We need to go.
Minitroupax has been knocked up. Wunder is here. Hjärnan is legendary. Jankos comes over. Savior of G2 as he managed to bring it in.
So important for G2 Esports. Rough ending to the split.